Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to UCW Overdrive. We've got an action-packed card in front of us, so let's not waste any time. First off, Ashley Morgan will defend the UCW Women's Heritage Championship against SORA here tonight. Then Nolan Omega will go at it against Austin Knight in an Extreme Rules match. Jake Saturn defends the Fighting Spirit Championship against the one and the only Darren Briggs. Right after that, Carl Hammett and Ray Hughes of the Grapple division will take on George Ewing and Jeremy Pierce of the North in a #1 contenders match. The winners of this match will go on next week to face the Click for the UCW World Tag Team Championships. Then to follow that up, we've got the UCW Breakdown Ironclad Champion Rose Daniels taking on Cassidy Quinn to represent the UCW Overdrive Women's Division here tonight. In our main event of the evening, Adam the Reaper Thomas will take on DadTrainer, the leader and owner of DTX. If you have not checked it out, make sure to go check out at TheDadTrainer on Twitch. This match is for the UCW World Heavyweight Championship, and it is a 10-minute Iron Man match. Without wasting any more time, let's get into it, folks.
Bells ring out like thunder's cry. Shadows fade where dreams defy. Footsteps echo on the stone. Climbing paths, I claim my throne. The roar of crowd shakes the ground. Faces blur, the pulse profound. A spark ignites a fire untamed. In the chaos, I'm unchained. Spotlights blaze, my moment calls. I stand unbroken through the falls. The summit's near, the air runs thin. This is the place where I begin.
Ladies and gentlemen, a brief cut-in of the cinematic. We have an announcement in the back. Adam Thomas is currently being attacked by 2 clown figures. And who are these people? MIZFIT and Twisted just showed up on UCW programming and are attacking Adam Thomas, the World Heavyweight Champion, ladies and gentlemen. Not sure how they're even allowed to be here. Never signed a contract, never permitted this. I'm assuming this is part of JOKA's bullshit. They definitely look like people who roll around with him. There's some foul words that I could say. I told you I see you. SupremeKnight, welcome to the chat, brother. How you doing? I need better security. Well, it doesn't help that in a state of desperation and confusion, a contract was signed with JOKA, pretty much giving him free reign to do whatever the hell he wants, including bringing people of the carnival from TXW into UCW, which is proving to be that's uncalled for. Maybe get some people their contracts to appear. Yeah, our Continental Champion's not under contract, but you know, he's the Continental Champion. Whole lot of complaining coming from a champion at the moment. Might have to get something done to change that. Adam Thomas holding his own fairly well against the 2 other competitors. He's gonna do it again. Down onto the cone. Adam Thomas, somebody go out there and help him. I'm not sure what brother did, but he missed whatever it was supposed to be. Welcome back to UCW Overdrive, ladies and gentlemen. We've got an action-packed card in front of us in an Extreme Rules match. Did he just come out of the ambulance? Oh my God. Adam Thomas is not in a good position here, ladies and gentlemen. The ring announcer getting the crowd ready for what is sure to be an action-packed championship match. Ashley Morgan getting her first opportunity to defend, but making their way to the ring first. We've got, ladies and gentlemen, SORA making her way down to the ring with theme music. Can't wait to get a stream deck to make this easier. And now for our scheduled webcam break. Ladies and gentlemen, how are we doing tonight in chat? Use the entrance times to talk to me. How's it going? What was for Din Din? You missed the finish? No, I skipped through it. It was going too long. I didn't want to have to do the wait for a finish on it. I just wanted Adam Thomas to get attacked. Curtain is pulled back down. SORA standing at the edge of the ring, jumping in, ready to take this championship away. You can do stream deck on mobile till you get a physical deck. Sweet, setting that up tonight. Setting that up tonight. It's going to be way easier to be able to skip through these and like set them in an order. There is an app for that indeed, apparently. And ladies and gentlemen, the Women's Heritage Champion. We've got Ashley Morgan making her way down to the ring.
No bloodline, no past, just pain.
Leah, how's it going tonight? Women's Overdrive Women's Heritage Championship looking very nice, I have to say. Big fan. Guy Fieri chili cheese dog tater tots. That sounds incredible. Ladies and gentlemen, the Women's Heritage Champion. Quite significantly, so it's just back to being background noise. A better look at the championship before this match is set to go underway. A small ham, mashed taters, and mac and cheese. Like you ate a small ham to yourself, or was that what everybody ate? And like, how small are we talking? Because like, is there such thing as a personal ham? The announcer introducing the challenger, SORA, and then one good look at the champion with the belt on her shoulder. Ladies and gentlemen, this match is about to be underway. Also, shout out Raddcore for the new sliders. We went through and talked for about an hour and a half last night, doing sliders for the universe and for certain wrestlers and stuff like that, just to make it go a little bit better. SORA already off to a big start, taking Ashley Morgan down. Their attires look very similar. I've never noticed that before. Off the top rope, SORA taking the fight to the champion. Very early on, Ashley Morgan making her way up to her feet. SORA takes Ashley Morgan down. Camera angles, ref, come on now. She wants her up on her feet. SORA taking advantage of a very distracted champion, it looks like, ladies and gentlemen. Big chops across the chest. The champion not looking good. Roll up cover. Trying to take this one away with a surprise. Only a count of one. Big leg drop as well. An elbow drop from the champion. SORA gets out of the ring. Big kick to the body. She catches Ashley Morgan. That looks very uncomfortable. Submission is in place. Someone remind the ref not to stand in front of the hard camera. Exactly. Exactly. The Unscripted Violence stream team, where it's violence over everything. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Violence no matter what. And as little script as possible on something that's scripted as hell. Ashley Morgan picking up SORA, dropping her down. At least a 6-foot fall. She got her by the head, pulling her over the top rope. Ashley Morgan, a huge forearm across the back of SORA, sends her back into the ring. She's going up to the top rope. Huge belly drop connects. Goading her opponent, showing off to the fans. Ashley Morgan misses that grab and SORA gets out of the way. Morgan catches her big elbow to the face. Catches her with a knee. SORA going for another submission on the champion. No. Big stomp to the back of the head instead. Was a little close to the ropes for a submission. SORA going for another cover. 2. Only a count of 2. Ashley Morgan able to get out. The champion, like I've said, not looking good in this match. She picks her up. Looking for a Styles clash. SORA hits it, going for another cover. 1, 2. Only a count of 2. Ashley Morgan hitting SORA in the face with a big kick as she kicks out of that pin. Trying to get up to her feet on the side of the ring. SORA waiting patiently, catches her with a huge punch. Ashley Morgan back through the ropes on the inside, meets a big kick from SORA. Big kick to the face. She's going off the middle rope. Big drop kick connects. 1, 2. Only a count of 2. Ashley Morgan still in this one. SORA wants her opponent to stand. Ashley Morgan looks very confused as she makes her way to her feet. Goes into the corner, able to fight back. Off the turnbuckles, into the mat. Ashley Morgan, what's she looking to do? The champion needs to put something together. Catches the big punch. SORA fights back. Chops from both these women. Big spear into the turnbuckle. Ashley Morgan makes her way across the ring. Jumping down onto SORA. Big impact into that turnbuckle behind her. Up to the top rope. Huge elbow drop from the champion, connects. SORA with a big drop kick knocks the champion down. Looking for another submission. This time a choke, and Ashley Morgan looks very uncomfortable. The ref still in the way of the hard camera. Is she gonna tap? She does. Ladies and gentlemen, SORA is your new Women's Heritage Champion. A very surprising victory. I expected Ashley Morgan to put up much more of a fight in this one. Was not expecting that. Congratulations to Sora on the championship victory. Nolan Omega taking on Austin Knight in an Extreme Rules match. That is the only special stipulation. There is no championship on the line. This match is to decide who will move up in the rankings for the Continental Championship. Not a number one contenders match, though. We ain't doing that yet. Let's get it underway. Let me cut my camera. Welcome back to the Overdrive Arena. Making their way to the ring first, Nolan Omega. One part of your UCW Extreme Tag Team Champions. One of the best competitors on the Overdrive roster. Also representing Breakdown with that belt.
Boots on the floor, fist in the flame. Young blood walking with a different name. Didn't ask, didn't wait, didn't kneel. I'm the person they pretend ain't real. Roll snap when I step through. Every scar's just painted proof. Talk legacy, I'm the glitch in the plan. I ain't a rookie, I'm the next goddamn man.
Nolan Omega, ladies and gentlemen, a fierce competitor, sadly knocked out of the race for the World Heavyweight Championship. You have to think that if he would have won that match a week ago, he would be the one facing Adam Thomas tonight for the World Heavyweight Championship. Instead, that is the privilege that DadTrainer holds. Big shouts out to DadTrainer and Clown Prince 1981 for helping put together some of this stuff. And like I said, big shout out to Raddcore as well. The sliders are way different and way better in my opinion. And SupremeKnight, unscripted violence shout out. I gotta get that coded. Get the bot made. Ladies and gentlemen, our next competitor is Austin Knight. This man goes by AK-47. A very dangerous man. Gotta get the Naomi razor blades on the jacket. There's only custom music for a few guys. I was doing some other stuff before I started. Had to get some matchup cards made. So music was on the back burner for tonight. But we will have music for Prime and Breakdown. Austin Knight, ladies and gentlemen. You know Ricky Thomas is in the back somewhere watching this very closely, knowing that one of these men could very well become the #1 contender within the coming weeks. Nolan Omega catches Austin Knight early on with a huge Hurricane Rana. Big crossbody off a middle rope as well, going for a cover very early on. Almost a count of 2. Nolan Omega going underneath the ring, grabs a table. The table budget continues, ladies and gentlemen. Nolan Omega sets up the table. And AK-47 looking to take advantage of it, grabs him by the back of the head. Nolan Omega able to fight out of that one. Gets caught by a huge punch. Drops him down, big headbutt. Sends Austin Knight down onto the mat. Nolan Omega fired up in this match. Big elbows from Austin Knight. Nolan Omega catches the kick. Throws him into the ropes. Drops under. Big kick from Nolan Omega. Knocks Austin Knight against the rope. Omega heads outside. I assume to go back underneath the ring. Maybe another table. Sledgehammer comes into play now. Austin Knight catches him with a huge kick to knock it out of his hand, but Nolan Omega has a reversal of his own. He's got Austin Knight against that table. Nolan Omega going for a suplex. Austin Knight able to get a reversal, flips over his back, takes the legs out from underneath him. Get out of my camera angle, brother. Austin Knight dumps Nolan Omega through the table, going for the cover. 1. Why'd the ref stutter like that? It still wouldn't have been a three count, but why? Big moonsault off the middle rope from Austin Knight, making his way over to that sledgehammer that Nolan Omega brought in. Omega going for a roll-up cover. You're all good, Leah. I appreciate it. Nolan Omega now with another table looking to settle the score. Bounces it off the face of Austin Knight. Then throws it down on top of him. Throws it down once again. Nolan Omega taking out the aggression on Austin Knight. Up to the top rope. Nolan Omega comes back down. Big neck breaker. Cutter. Whatever. Something that did a lot of damage to the back and the neck of Austin Knight. Austin Knight with a chair. Running over to Nolan Omega as he makes his way to his feet. Nolan Omega catches him. A huge DDT. Austin Knight is laid out on the side of the ring. Nolan Omega taking a walk around the park, grabbing the table and sliding it back into the ring. Austin Knight back up to his feet, rolls up underneath the ropes. Omega catches him. Big sling blade. Going for a cover. 2. Only a count of 2 for Nolan Omega. Austin Knight able to fight out of this one. Nolan Omega with another table. Will it work out better this time? Off the top rope. Misses the Omega effect. Austin Knight catches him, throws him into the corner. Big knee reversal from Nolan Omega. And then one from Austin Knight as well to follow it up. Austin Knight with some huge kicks. Gets around him, drops him down, going for it. No, not going for the pin. Another suplex. Little rolling neck breaker action. And then the hammer down onto the chest of Nolan Omega as well. Austin Knight going for a cover. Only a count of 1. Nolan Omega not done yet. Stomps down on the body. Huge kick to the face as well. Austin Knight trying to do as much damage to every part of the body as possible. Really working the arm as well. And he drops the knees down. Austin Knight looked like he was going for that steel chair from earlier. Now changing his mind. Focusing on Nolan Omega. Big punches on the outside. Kick to the body connects. Huge combos from Austin Knight and a super kick into a German suplex. Nolan Omega not looking good in this one. Huge kicks. Drops him down on his shoulder. Austin Knight, some incredible athleticism on display. Goes back for the sledgehammer and lets Nolan Omega know what's waiting for him on the other side of that ring. Kick up from Nolan. Gets taken out with the hammer almost instantly. Gets out of the way. Hurricane Rana from Nolan Omega. He heads back into the... No, just onto the apron. He wants Austin Knight back on his feet. What's he looking to do here? Off the top rope. Takes him out. Huge move from Nolan Omega. He's the one with the hammer now. Drops it down on the body of Austin Knight. Austin Knight asking for a timeout from Nolan Omega. Nolan Omega a little confused. Austin Knight takes advantage. Not enough, though. Nolan Omega sends him spilling into the steel chairs. Steel steps, not steel chairs. Nolan Omega putting together a little bit of offense against Austin Knight here. Once again, the hammer comes into play across the body. Multiple times to Austin Knight. Huge kick connects. Ladies and gentlemen, these men are doing battle on the outside, but they can only win this match on the inside. Austin Knight catches him, floats over. Huge move on top of that hammer. He wants Nolan Omega up on his feet. Something big on the way. Flips him over. Austin Knight doing a whole lot of damage to the tag team champion. I'd hate to see what he could do with the help of a partner. That's all I'm saying. Big ripcord knee from Austin Knight. Nolan Omega laid out on the outside of the ring. Knight heads back under, grabbing a ladder this time. Sets it up on the outside. Big elbow drop onto Nolan Omega. Austin Knight putting the pieces together for what could be a very big victory. Going up to the top. Huge elbow drop, misses. Nolan Omega back up to his feet, gets out of the way. Throws him down onto the floor. Nolan Omega drops the knee down onto the arm of AK-47. Pulls out a trash can, dips it out of the way. Don't even want it. Okay, cool. Nolan Omega struggling to put anything together, but he is in control here. Big suplex on the outside. Something tells me no. Only one, and then down onto the shoulders. Nolan Omega trying to put this one away. He's looking for something big on the outside. Big kick to the gut, misses. AK-47 with a reversal. Gets thrown down on top of that trash can. It collapses underneath the weight of Nolan Omega. Austin Knight wants Omega up on his feet. He's got him by the back of the head, throws him into the ring. Looking for that steel chair from way earlier in this match. Slides it under the ring. Nolan Omega with the table, gets caught by a huge chair shot in the face. Austin Knight taking the chair across the body of Omega. Misses the big kick, gets out of the way of the spear. These two men now exchanging blows in the middle of the ring, ladies and gentlemen. A test of strength. AK-47 seems to be the man on top. Huge chop across the chest. Catches the punch. Big kick to the face. Austin Knight heads to the outside to grab the hammer from earlier. Throws it down. He's hyped up and ready to go. He wants Nolan Omega on his feet. Austin Knight, another going for the cover. Is that enough to keep Nolan Omega down? No, it's not. Nolan Omega kicks out at 2. Up to the top rope. Austin Knight, huge move. Nolan Omega laid out flat on the middle of the ring. Going for another table shot. What's going on? Austin Knight. Ethan Omega coming out to the rescue of his brother. I didn't even know he was here tonight. Standing on the outside as his brother raises up to his feet. Nolan Omega sets up the table behind Austin Knight. No, across the back. Big kick misses. Nolan Omega gets out of the way. Throws him into the ropes. Sling blade connects down on top of the chair. Austin Knight. Can he get out of this one? 2, 3. Nolan Omega takes away the victory. Thanks to the help of his brother, Ethan. Ethan Omega making his debut on UCW Prime this Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen. That must be why he is in the ring in the area. Nolan Omega takes away the victory. Austin Knight seems to be pinned underneath that ladder on the outside. We're not going to talk about that much, though. It looks very uncomfortable. I don't know how that's happening. Nolan Omega moves up the rankings of the Continental Championship with this victory. Next week, he will go on to face a mystery opponent. And if he can win that match, he will be the #1 contender for the Continental Championship. And if he loses, he won't be. And the winner of the match will become the #1 contender. That person will go on to fight at the next UCW pay-per-view, UCW Blood Oath. And next up, ladies and gentlemen, the Fighting Spirit Championship is on the line. The champion, Jake Saturn, will defend against Darren Briggs in an Extreme Rules match. Ladies and gentlemen, the UCW Fighting Spirit Championship is on the line in this match right here. The announcer letting the crowd know the weight of the situation in front of them and making their way to the ring first. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't think either of these men have entrance music. No, they don't. We've got Darren Briggs coming down to the ringed contract. Okay, well, I can't get you a contract while I'm actively streaming, sir. I'm going to put some crazy clauses in that. Guarantee it. Ricky Thomas, if he loses one match, will never fight in UCW again. Shit like that. Keep playing with me. You want more matches? Do it yourself. Make your own show. I'll help. Darren Briggs, not with any designs. Loved the 2K apocalypse. Finding new people every time I log in that had logos last time and don't have it this time. Send it to your attorney. All right, I got you. I've got her phone number. Darren Briggs makes his way into the ring, ready to do battle for the Fighting Spirit Championship. A championship held by the likes of Andrew Johnson and Jake Saturn. And our next contestant, introducing to all of you, ladies and gentlemen, we've got the one, the only, Jake Saturn, making his way down to the ring. Okay, but I'm gonna be lurking. Thank you, sir. Enjoy the lurk. Have a good time. And there he is, ladies and gentlemen, your champion. The Fighting Spirit Championship, not a championship that I would want to hold. Got to defend that thing every single week on Overdrive. Jake Saturn seems to be up to the challenge, though. Jake Saturn, a very dominant champion thus far. How was that ass whooping, Mr. CEO? Hopefully my boys did not hurt you too bad tonight. Well, technically, I whooped their ass. They just jumped me. When you involve a numbers game, it doesn't matter how good I do. They get 50-50 performance. I get 100% performance, all right? We're going to do a little bit of Steiner math on you. So no matter how that cookie crumbles, whether I landed on my back or landed on my feet, I still did better than the guys who had to use 2 versus 1 tactics to beat me. And it wasn't even an official match. My focus is on DT tonight, not Goofy and Doink. Very up close and personal shot of the champion with the belt. Jake Saturn ready to do battle. The Fighting Spirit Championship in all of its glory. As the announcer gets the ring, the crowd, and the talent ready to go. Coming back in, champion must be a little nervous that tonight might be the last night that we call him that for who knows how long. Big punch misses from Darren Briggs. Jake Saturn gets out of the way. Oh, what I saw, you had a very penetrating experience facing my clowns. It was a very penetrating experience. I'm not comfortable with that. That happened like 4 times. Adam Thomas is going to come out with a limp, most likely. I forgot to do something. Darren Briggs catches Jake Saturn, drops him down onto his knee. A lot of damage and pressure to the neck of Jake Saturn. Throws him into the corner. Camera angles, ref. Darren Briggs throws Saturn into the ropes, throws him over the hip as well. He's got him up onto his shoulder, drops the neck of Jake Saturn down onto the top rope. Darren Briggs heads to the outside, looking for something big off the rope, I assume. Big clothesline takes out Jake Saturn, the champion, with very little offense early on in this match. Darren Briggs has got him by the back of the head, using the ropes to his advantage. Drops down under, big kick to the face, puts the smoke out of Darren Briggs' engine. Catches him with a Hurricane Rana. He's not down yet. Going for another cover on Saturn. Throws him into the corner. Darren Briggs slides out. Another hammer coming into play. I'm just glad it's not a table. Big shot to the body of the champion, Darren Briggs, letting his presence feel known. Floats over. Big DDT. Darren Briggs catches Jake Saturn on the outside. Big scoop slam. And another kick to across the back of Jake Saturn. Over the top rope, Darren Briggs takes out the champion. Stomping down on his chest. Darren Briggs wants this belt, ladies and gentlemen. A huge kick to the face connects as well. Jake Saturn taking a lot of damage. A hell of an ass whooping in this match. Will he be able to recover? Under the rope, Darren Briggs. He's got Jake Saturn by the head. Big kicks land. Huge punch to the face. Jake Saturn hyping the crowd up. Another punch. Lays out Darren Briggs. And another stomp to the body. Jake Saturn doing anything he can to turn the pressure on his opponent. Looking for something big in the corner. Jake Saturn, huge super kick connects. Off the top rope. Crossbody lands as well. The champion looking much better now. Darren Briggs with a reversal, able to fight out. Catches him with a huge elbow, going for the cover. 2. Only a count of 2. Under the bottom rope, Darren Briggs. What's he looking to do? Jake Saturn barely moving on the inside of the ring, ladies and gentlemen. The champion might need a medic by the end of this one. Gets caught. Down onto the top of his head, Jake Saturn. Huge move, going for the cover on Darren Briggs. 2. Only a count of 2. The champion not able to walk out of this one just yet. Going up to the top rope. Hits him. Going for another cover. Only a count of 2 once again. Jake Saturn with the sledgehammer. Makes his way across the ring. Drops the hammer down across his back. He caught him. Throws him into the ropes. Briggs fights out. Big reversal. Saturn with one of his own. These two men now exchanging blows in the middle of the ring. A test of power. Darren Briggs catches him with a big slap across the chest. Who will get the upper hand? Both men look exhausted, I have to say. Just flailing. No power behind these moves. Darren Briggs asks for more. Jake Saturn putting it together. Darren Briggs with a reversal. These two men throwing haymakers at each other. Going back and forth. Who will get the upper hand? Neither one. Both men going at it. Darren Briggs just a little quicker. Huge elbow to the face of Jake Saturn, going for the cover. 2. Only a count of 2. Jake Saturn still not able to get the W in this one. Darren Briggs, only a count of 2. Can't walk out. Up to the top rope. What's he looking for? Big punch across the face of Jake Saturn. Darren Briggs looking to do a lot of damage to the champion. Off the top rope. Down on top of that sledgehammer, Darren Briggs, all of his guts just landed on the handle of that hammer. Off the top rope. Misses the big move. Jake Saturn catches him with a huge punch. Going for another. Lays Darren Briggs out. Is that enough for the champion to walk out? Still champion? Will we know? Big DDT from Jake Saturn, going for a cover on Darren Briggs. 2. Only a count of 2. Jake Saturn on the outside, walking around the ring. What's he looking for? Pulls out a ladder. Darren Briggs heads out there. Gets caught in the face by the ladder. And an elbow drop on the outside from Jake Saturn. Darren Briggs might have wanted to stay on the inside. The champion looks way more comfortable now. Misses the huge headbutt. Darren Briggs catches him. He's got him up on his shoulders. Down onto the apron. Bouncing his face off the ring post. Darren Briggs up to the top. Huge elbow lands this time. Under the bottom rope. He's got that hammer from earlier. Goading Jake Saturn to stand. Darren Briggs heads outside to keep the assault coming. Dropping the hammer down onto the champion. Darren Briggs, an absolute dominant performance. He's got him up. Spins him out, down on top of the hammer. Onto the wood planking of the floor. Huge elbow as well. Darren Briggs just needs to get Jake Saturn into the ring. He goes through the ropes. No, instead decides to go up to the top. Stop. No. Big crossbody. Connects across the back of Jake Saturn. Darren Briggs going for the cover. Still not enough. Saturn kicks out. Only a count of 2. You have to think that Darren Briggs is quite confused. Going for a submission on Jake Saturn. Is this enough to keep the champion down? Yes, it is. Ladies and gentlemen, Darren Briggs, your new Fighting Spirit champion. With the way he won that belt, it might need to be more like the Deathlock Championship, or we might need to see Darren Briggs on Breakdown. The Fighting Spirit Championship with its new owner. He looks like he got the hell beat out of him. Double black eye, bruising across the chest and back. Darren Briggs proving what it takes to become the Fighting Spirit Champion here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. A round of applause for that man. And our next match is to decide the #1 contenders for the UCW World Tag Team Championships. Carl Hammett and Ray Hughes, the Grapple division, will take on George Ewing and Jeremy Pierce, the North. Next on UCW Overdrive. And as always, if you are on YouTube and watching the short stream, if you would like the horizontal stream, come check us out on Twitch. The tag is on the screen. We're way better there. And you get access to sound alerts and sound effects and stuff like that, which I can only assume I'm not hearing much of because everybody's saving for the frickin' jump scares. Or because they don't think they work, which is fine with me too, because they didn't last time. The Grapple division making their way down to the ring. Carl Hammett, Ray Hughes, winning this opportunity last week. Very close bond, these two men. as close as brothers can be without being actual brothers. Thank you for the alert, Clown. I got you. Ladies and gentlemen, the North making their way down to the ring. We've got George Ewing and Jeremy Pierce, two very, very fierce competitors in the tag division, not winning this opportunity, but with Jeremy Pierce being the man who was pinned in a triple threat elimination match, the North and the Grapple division came out on top. The Next Generation being the ones who lost out on the opportunity. All four of these men look very fired up and ready to go. Let's not keep them waiting any longer. This is a classic tag team match, so we have to keep the names up so I know who I'm talking about. Ray Hughes, a lot of damage early on to Jeremy Pierce. Throws him into his corner with his partner. The teamwork of the Grapple division is always on display and always in full effect. Flips him over his shoulders. Carl Hammett, now the legal man for the Grapple division. Big elbow drop across the face, going for a cover. Only a count of 1, 2. Jeremy Pierce, not looking good very early on in this match. Very, very soon for a 2 count. Big stomp on the leg of Jeremy Pierce. Carl Hammett stretching him out. Working the legs. Submission locked in. Jeremy Pierce using the core strength to his advantage, able to fight back. Big punches to the head of Carl Hammett. Big slap across the face, lays Hammett out. Jeremy Pierce has got him by the back of the head, throws him into the corner. Big elbow connects. He's got him by the head, going for a roll-up cover. Is this all it takes for the North to win? No, not even a count of 1. Goes under the bottom ring. Huge elbow across the face from Jeremy Pierce. Carl Hammett not looking good on the outside. Big knee drop connects. Stomping down on his face. And a huge elbow drop as well. Jeremy Pierce putting on a dominant performance out here on the outside. George Ewing heading to the other side of the ring. Might be looking to mess with Ray Hughes. Carl Hammett gets a reversal, throws him into the ropes. A count of 7. Will we see a count out? Will the Grapple division win this match by technicality? A count of 9 thus far. Jeremy Pierce is not able to make it back into the ring. The Grapple division win on a technicality, and that is the last time you will see a 10 count in UCW. We will be doing a 20 count. Shout out HIW, because that match was supposed to go way longer. Ladies and gentlemen, next up, we've got Rose Daniels taking on Cassidy Quinn. This is a match to represent the UCW Women's World Championship division. Hopefully it is a much better showcase than what we saw moments ago. Welcome back to the Overdrive Arena, ladies and gentlemen. Making their way to the ring first, I believe we have none other than the one, the only, Rose Daniels, the UCW Breakdown Ironclad Champion, winning that last Friday. She's been champion for 3 days. Showing up in her debut and walking out as a champion, Rose Daniels, a dominant competitor in her very few matches in UCW thus far, looking to keep that belt around her waist for as long as possible. But what would be better, of course, is always 2. Knowing that moving up the ranks of the UCW Women's World Championship division is a great way to get a shot at that belt. Looking to move that forward here tonight. And her opponent, ladies and gentlemen, making their way down to the ring, we've got the legendary, the iconic Cassidy Quinn. A few matches in UCW programming as well. Cassidy Quinn sitting almost at the top of the division. A match here tonight is almost sure to guarantee her a chance at the UCW Women's World Championship. Will she make it that far, though, is the question, of course. It's fake money. Monopoly money. You think I'm dropping real money from the rafters on this? No. This is her idea, not mine. I said we'll do Monopoly. All $1 bills. Maybe the 20s. Rose Daniels. Cassidy Quinn set to do battle here. Very early start. Cassidy Quinn, huge mounted punches to the face of Rose Daniels. Bouncing her head off the apron. Leg drop connects. Cassidy Quinn taunting Rose Daniels as Rose Daniels makes her way to her feet. She's got her against the ropes. Flips her over. Rose Daniels with a reversal. Taking control back against Cassidy Quinn. Huge knee drop down on the outside. Throws her under the ropes. Cassidy Quinn stops herself, not letting her go inside. Up to the top rope. Rose Daniels. Huge punch lands off the top rope, takes out Cassidy Quinn. Off the ropes. Neck breaker from Rose Daniels connects. Up to the middle. Big double axe handle. Rose Daniels, a very dominant performance thus far against Cassidy Quinn. Misses the big kick. Cassidy Quinn, more mounted punches. Off the bottom rope, cannonball misses. Rose Daniels going for a cover. Only a count of one. She's able to get out of that one. Misses the big knee. Flips her over her shoulders. Knee drop down onto the throat of Rose Daniels from Cassidy Quinn. Big kick lands. Huge knees from Cassidy Quinn. Big kick to the top of the head. Rose Daniels does not get hit by that big kick to the face from Cassidy Quinn. Cassidy Quinn seems a little pissed off about that fact, keeping the pace up. Going underneath the ring, she's got a steel chair. Rose Daniels makes her way up to her feet. Cassidy Quinn turns around, not fast enough. Rose, big knee to the chest. Off the ropes. Big kick to the face of Cassidy Quinn. Cassidy Quinn back up to her feet. Rose Daniels on the outside, looking to go underneath the ring. Pulls out a sledgehammer. That's the third one tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Cassidy Quinn on the apron, goes for a slap, falls down. Rose Daniels hits her with a big hammer shot and then busts her open with a huge knee to the face. Up to the top rope. Big stomp misses. Big kicks to the face from Cassidy Quinn. Rose Daniels gets caught. Huge ripcord knee connects. Cassidy Quinn with a sledgehammer. Big kick to the face from Rose Daniels. Cassidy Quinn catches her. Huge kick to the knee, knocking Rose Daniels off balance. Working the arm, gets Rose down, but she's got a reversal in mind. Big punches to the gut. Heads up to the apron. Up to the top rope. Double axe handle misses. Huge punch on the outside from Cassidy Quinn. Then a knee to the face from Rose Daniels. Lays Quinn out. Throws her onto the outside. Rose Daniels, a very dominant performance against the much larger Cassidy Quinn. Huge knee drop onto the face. Big stomps to the chest as well. Rose Daniels absolutely dominating her opponent. Making her way around that ladder. Rose Daniels goes back for the sledgehammer from earlier. Big hammer shot down onto the body of Cassidy Quinn. Calling her to her feet, but Cassidy Quinn does not respond. Surprises Rose Daniels. Huge big boot to the face. Cassidy Quinn throws Rose under the ropes. Now with a kendo stick of her own, Rose Daniels makes her way to Cassidy Quinn. Cassidy Quinn back in the ring. Catches the huge kick that was on the way. Rose Daniels drops her down on her face, going for the cover. 1, 2. Only a count of 2. Cassidy Quinn able to kick out. Goes for the hammer. Tries to drop it down on Cassidy Quinn. Gets caught by a big kick. This is not good for her. Vertebreaker. No! Slams her down onto her chest. Going for a cover. Rose Daniels, still not enough to keep Cassidy Quinn down. She pulls that chair out from the corner. Huge chair shot to the face of Cassidy Quinn. A whole lot of damage. Big boot connects. Cassidy Quinn lays out Rose Daniels. Big punches to the gut. A huge combo. Something big on the way. Down onto the hammer. Cassidy Quinn catches her with a big elbow. Fired up and ready to go. A second life has been breathed into this woman. Catches her with a huge jumping clothesline. Booty bump in the corner. Rose Daniels falls. Kendo stick back out across the face of Rose. Going for another cover. 1, 2. Cassidy Quinn, not enough to keep Rose down. Rose catches it, big reversal. Down onto her face once again. Cassidy Quinn not moving. Rose Daniels back with the hammer in hand. Drops it down onto the body of Cassidy Quinn. Quinn makes her way to her feet. Rose gets caught with a huge punch. Cassidy Quinn slams Rose Daniels down, going for a cover. 2. Only a count of 2. Rose Daniels still in this one. Catches her with a collar and elbow tie-up. Both women seem a little tired, very confused on what's going on. Cassidy Quinn with the upper hand throws Rose Daniels into the barricade. Catches her with a huge kick. Rose back up to her feet. Big elbows to the face of Rose Daniels. Cassidy Quinn getting the upper hand. Another table comes out. Just throws it out of the way. Rose Daniels back up to her feet. Meets a huge hand in the face from Cassidy Quinn. Cassidy Quinn on the inside with a sledgehammer. Rose Daniels suddenly alive and well, meets the sledgehammer in the gut. Over the knee of Cassidy Quinn. Rose Daniels under the ropes. Clothesline lands. Rose Daniels fired up. Catches the kick from Cassidy Quinn. Takes the legs out from underneath her. Rose with a second life going for the cover. 1, 2. Only a count of 2. Cassidy Quinn powers out once again. Rose on the outside. Calls Quinn to her feet. Over the rope. Catches the kick. Slamming the kendo stick down. Cassidy Quinn gets caught with a huge attack. No, Rose gets caught with a huge attack. Into the corner. The knees to the face of Rose Daniels. Cassidy Quinn going for another cover. 2. Only a count of 2. Rose Daniels still fighting out. Big stomp to the arm of Rose Daniels. A submission locked in. Rose not in a good position. Cassidy Quinn lets go of the hold. Rose Daniels gets saved. Laying in the middle of the ring, Cassidy Quinn goes up to the top rope. Misses the frog splash. Huge kick to the face. Quinn catches the kick to the gut. Rose throws her into the ropes, drops down. Big punch connects. Rose looked like she's got more in the tank. Going to the outside. Catches Cassidy Quinn with a huge drop kick. Breaks the kendo stick across the leg of Cassidy Quinn. Roll up cover. No! A power bomb instead. Quinn goes for the cover. Is that enough? 2. Only a count of 2 for Cassidy Quinn. Rose Daniels still fighting back. Okay, my brother, gotta get ready to see you on the other side. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Big kick misses from Cassidy Quinn. Rose with one of her own. She's got the head trapped. Cassidy Quinn with a reversal. Clothesline takes out Rose. Stomping down on her hand, Cassidy Quinn. Another submission on the way. Rolls her over. Is this enough to keep Rose down? Rose taps. Cassidy Quinn is your winner, ladies and gentlemen. A very surprising victory, defeating the ironclad champion. Ladies and gentlemen, Cassidy Quinn will go on to face the UCW Women's World Champion next week on Overdrive because of this victory. And for our main event of the evening, ladies and gentlemen, your UCW World Heavyweight Champion, Adam the Reaper Thomas, will defend against DadTrainer of DTX. The UCW World Heavyweight Championship is on the line next, ladies and gentlemen. The ring announcer getting the crowd ready for what is sure to be a hell of a match, making their way to the ring first. It is none other than the man himself, the trainer of dads, the leader of DTX. Ladies and gentlemen, the DadTrainer is in the house. If you have not seen DTX, it is the most high energy E-Fed on the internet, run by the DadTrainer. An incredible guy. Go check it out. Big shout out in Twitch. Clown's not here, so I'll do it. King Hipsa said the tribal oos. Henjay says oos. One of the greatest competitors in all of internet wrestling just made his appearance in UCW. And as you can tell, the UCW universe is already a fan. A man bigger than myth, and bigger than myth, bigger than legend. The Second City Oos. 2 letters, 1 man, DT. And ladies and gentlemen, next up, coming down to the ring, he is none other than your UCW World Heavyweight Champion, Adam the Reaper Thomas.
Shadows crawl in the dark, they linger, grasping tight, cold hands on my trigger.
Adam the Reaper Thomas, the UCW Overdrive World Heavyweight Champion for going on 3 weeks now, ladies and gentlemen. Defeating Nolan Omega last week to take him out of the running for the championship. Multiple interruptions from JOKA, still not enough to keep the champion down. Adam Thomas, ladies and gentlemen.
Steel and fire grinding in my chest. Battle cries.
If you were not here for the beginning of the show, ladies and gentlemen, this is a 10-minute Iron Death match for the UCW Overdrive World Heavyweight Championship. The ring announcer getting the crowd ready for the main event. Adam Thomas takes a look down at his life's work. Will it all go away tonight and go into the hands of a man with a great legacy in wrestling, DadTrainer? Ladies and gentlemen, the main event is underway. 10 minutes are on the clock. Big collar and elbow tie-up, Adam Thomas, DadTrainer, trying to figure out who the stronger competitor is early on in this match. DT, big kick lands, busting Adam Thomas open early on. Right back to the strength contest. Adam Thomas backs him down into the corner once again, forearm across the face, stretching out DadTrainer, pause. Big kick lands to the gut once again. These two men just trying to figure out who the stronger one is. DadTrainer getting the upper hand this time. Backs Adam Thomas up into the corner. 9 minutes and 15 seconds remain. Adam Thomas with a kick of his own. DT catches him. Big slap across the face. Into the ropes. Drops down. Adam Thomas trying to put something together. Samoan drop from DadTrainer. Going for a cover early. Only a count of 1. Adam Thomas gets out of the way of that one. Big punch across the face. DT gets a reversal. Adam Thomas takes him out. Big drop kick lands. Adam Thomas doing anything to keep the momentum at least at a neutral position. DT over the top rope. Looking very, very in control in his UCW debut. Up to the middle rope. Double axe handle. Adam Thomas with a reversal. European uppercut takes out DT, but it's not enough. He gets a reversal of his own. With a knee across the back, Adam Thomas gets out from underneath DadTrainer. Headbutt to the back. Adam Thomas makes his way out of the ring for just a second. DT is OP. Yes, he is. Welcome back, SupremeKnight. A barbed wire bat to the knee of Adam Thomas. He catches him. Big clothesline to the neck. Adam Thomas takes DadTrainer down, stomping on his shoulder. Big knee from Adam Thomas. DT with a reversal makes his way back up to his feet. Huge Superman punch on the outside connects. DT going for a cover. Only a count of 2. Adam Thomas able to get out of that one. Collar and elbow tie up. Adam Thomas thrown into the side of the ring. He gets him up. Bounces the face of DT off the apron. Baseball bat covered in barbed wire to the knee. Now across the back, Adam Thomas taking out some frustration on DT, it looks like. Now working the limbs of his opponent. And a huge stomp to the chest from the Reaper. And one final one onto the face, going for a cover. 2. Only a count of 2. DT able to get out of that one. Under 6.5 minutes remain in this match, ladies and gentlemen. Adam Thomas, last words onto the wooden planks outside. Going for another cover. 2. Only a count of 2. DT kicks out of the last words. Adam Thomas working his opponent around the outside. DadTrainer, big spear, lays out Adam Thomas. He's going for a cover. 1, 2. Only a count of 2. Adam Thomas barely able to get the shoulder up in the situation. Leg DDT from DadTrainer. A light bar is now coming across the body of Adam Thomas. DadTrainer stomping the shards into his chest. Big punches to the face. Adam Thomas not looking very good as the champion here tonight. Just over 5 minutes remain in this one. DT with a submission to Adam Thomas on the outside. He takes the legs out from underneath him. Throws him into the steel steps. DT on his back on the outside. Adam Thomas misses the big elbow drop. Huge boot to the face connects from DT. A kick to the top of the head. And a Thez press from Adam Thomas. These two men going back and forth. DadTrainer is busted wide open. Stomping down on the back of the knee of DadTrainer. Adam Thomas pulling out the steel steps. Throws him down onto the body of his opponent. And an elbow drop as well. The bruising starting to show on the back of DT. Big punches from the champion. He's looking for something big. What's Adam Thomas got in mind? Floats over. DT with a reversal. Huge slam down onto the back of Adam Thomas. Is that enough for a fall? Only a count of 2. Adam Thomas kicks out. DT looking for something big. Spear connects on the outside. He takes out Adam Thomas once again. 1, 2. Only a count of 2 with 3 minutes and 50 seconds remaining. Stomping down on the hand. DT with a deadlift suplex down onto the remaining stairs. Now DT with the steel steps. What's he looking to do? Across the body of Adam Thomas. Adam Thomas out of nowhere, back up to his feet. Bounces the face of DT off the side of the ring. Once again, systematically picking apart each piece of his opponent's body. And one final stomp down onto the head of DT. Adam Thomas going for a cover. 2. DT kicks out at 2. Adam Thomas confused, trying to put anything he can in the bank. Once again calls DT to his RKO on the outside. 2. Adam Thomas still not able to get the pinfall on DadTrainer. 2 minutes and 50 seconds remain, ladies and gentlemen. Adam Thomas limps to the other side of the ring to retrieve the baseball bat covered in barbed wire. DT makes his way to his feet, misses the big boot. Baseball bat to the face. And across his knees and his back, DadTrainer able to get out of the way of one of them. Now 2, catches the bat, takes it across the body of Adam Thomas. Now across the back, he gets him. Big shot to the face from Adam Thomas, misses. DT meets him. Baseball bat to the face. He's looking for something big. Spear misses. Adam Thomas able to jump over. DT with a reversal. Superman punch connects. He's going for a cover. 2 minutes remain. 1, 2. Only a count of 2. Adam Thomas kicks out. Kick up from Adam Thomas. DT makes his way back into the ring. Adam Thomas heads back in. DT up to the top rope. Takes DadTrainer down off the top. Once again, wants his opponent on his feet, looking for something massive. Adam Thomas catches him. Flips over, going for a power bomb. Does a lot of damage to the back of Adam Thomas as well. DT laid out in the middle of the ring, catches him with a big kick. 1 minute, 20 seconds remain. DT goes for the spear. It does not connect. Adam Thomas with a DDT to DadTrainer. Elbow drop lands. He's working on the arm of DadTrainer now, ladies and gentlemen. 1 minute remaining in this 10-minute Iron Death match. No falls have been obtained. Adam Thomas on the outside. 50 seconds remaining. He goes under the ring, pulls out a light bar. Shatters it across the knee of DadTrainer. Adam Thomas going for a cover. 40 seconds remaining. 3. Adam Thomas secures a pinfall against the challenger. Meets him with a big punch to the face, into the corner. He gets him up to the top rope. Adam Thomas, what's he looking for? A huge punch to the face of DadTrainer. An avalanche neckbreaker is on the way, it looks like, ladies and gentlemen. He hits it. Lays DadTrainer out. Adam Thomas lurking in the shadows. Now pulling his opponent closer to the middle of the ring. 5 seconds remain. Adam Thomas going for another cover. 3, 2. Only a count of 2. Adam Thomas secures the win and retains his championship in his hardest fought contest to date. DT put up a hell of a fight. Adam Thomas walks out the way he walked in as your UCW World Heavyweight Champion. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a crazy, crazy show tonight. If you have not been here, let me recap the match card for you. We had Ashley Morgan defend the UCW Women's Heritage Championship, where SORA walked out with the belt. Nolan Omega defeated Austin Knight in an Extreme Rules match. Jake Saturn took on Darren Briggs and lost his Fighting Spirit Championship. Carl Hammond and Ray Hughes became your #1 contenders for the World Tag Team Championships by disqualification, taking out the North. And then Rose Daniels did not defeat Cassidy Quinn in an Extreme Rules women's match. And then Adam Thomas retains the UCW World Heavyweight Champion against DadTrainer. What is this? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm getting word from backstage that JOKA has appeared and is picking on the much beaten and battered DadTrainer. These two men going at it on the outside. 2 interruptions, 2 attacks in one night. What the hell is this chaos that's coming to UCW? We once had very clean, very formatted programming. Not anymore. JOKA focusing on DadTrainer now that he has got his sights set on the Breakdown World Championship. I assume he expected DadTrainer to be the champion by the end of the night. We do need security. We do indeed need better security. JOKA and DadTrainer going at it in the garage. A whole lot of damage being done to both of these men. I am not sure what is happening to UCW, but we've got attacks happening at the beginning of the shows, attacks happening at the end of the shows, run-ins happening in the middle of the matches. Nobody seems to listen to order in UCW anymore, and all of this seemed to have started when the devil of professional wrestling, JOKA, showed up. And JOKA lays out DadTrainer with a huge kick to the face. Where is security at? Can somebody come separate these two men? DadTrainer just got done with a 10-minute Iron Death match where him and Adam Thomas went tooth and nail for the victory. We went 50 seconds without a fall, or we went 9 minutes and 10 seconds without a fall. And now JOKA is picking on him, taking the attack to him on the outside. DadTrainer with JOKA up on his shoulder. JOKA takes his legs out from underneath, and the strength of DadTrainer must be playing games with him, ladies and gentlemen. JOKA throws him into that concrete wall. Security is out for lunch. At 6:41 p.m., you're out for lunch in the middle of the show. DT runs into that post. Big punches. He's trying to fight back against JOKA. Lays him out. JOKA not looking as good as he was moments ago. Big punches. DT not in a good position. Flips him over his shoulders. Throws the trash can down onto the body of DadTrainer. I feel for DT. An incredible match, and then he walks backstage trying to get to his car to drive to Vendetta Programming tomorrow. And he gets attacked by his bitterest enemy in the entire game. Mounted punches from DadTrainer, putting the assault on JOKA. Who knows how long these two men are going to go at it, ladies and gentlemen. Security is on the way, but who knows who will make it faster. Will the Carnival or security be able to break that up? Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a great stream. Thank you for showing up.
It's a Twitch red, baby, light it up.